Well, Pat Cox was the man who first taught me. In fact, all of my training really comes from Pat. And at the end of the year, he said to me, "Oh, Annie, what are you going to do when you leave Polytech?" And I said, "I don't know, Pat, I'm a bloody awful designer." So he said, "Why don't you try editing?" He was just setting up the first independent editing service in the country. And he said to me, "Well, I haven't got any clients yet, haven't got any money, but if you can keep yourself alive, then I'll train you." I don't have everything in my head. I want a director who can come in and play with the stuff with me, but I also require that director to have done their homework, because you can't play unless you really know what it is you're playing with. I'd cut Scarfies with Robert. That was about the fourth film or so that I'd cut with him, and I really enjoy his head. He is full of energy and life and vibrant and totally focused on what he's doing in film and just loves film. And the thing that I noticed above everything else on Scarfies was that when it came to the editing room, he put his ego on a hook outside the door and then walked in. I remember quite clearly the first assembly that went up of Scarfies, and Robert went, "Holy shit." But he didn't panic. And his first response was not, "How can I get myself out of the poo? How can I make this film better so that I look better?" It was, "What can we do for the film? How do we make the film tell a better story?" The material that's used in Mouth Wide Open, the film about Ted Coubre, is quite idiosyncratic, particularly idiosyncratic to Jonathan. And it's delightful. We tried to get money to do it on 35mm, as befitted a man who shot in 35mm, and all of the material that we're using is in 35mm. However, I think that the New Zealand Film Commission was extremely short-sighted in the money that they funded for it, and could not see their way clear to putting another 30,000 in so that we could shoot on Meg on 35mm. I had about umpteen different roles. I started off as an animatics editor for films 2 and 3. That was about 3 months. That was all I was meant to have. And then Mike Horton came on the job, and he needed an operator. And so I trotted over to Jamie and said, "Oh, Jamie, Mike needs an operator. I've waited a long time to operate for him. How about I do that?" And that was sort of for film 2. And by this time they were in the first year of shooting, of course, and just everything was going. And film 3, which Jamie Selkirk was cutting, didn't have anybody assembling it. Jamie wasn't available to do it. "Annie, I need an assembly editor for film 3. Who do you suggest?" It was a lot of fun. Jamie was terrific. I sort of put my assembly up, and Jamie came in and did his parts. Sort of like he directed me on that. So we worked as like director and editor. And then we got a cut together which would pass for the criteria that the tax department needed. And also that cut was used to help the visual effects people start to understand what was going to be coming up in film 3. It got sent over to the sound people so that they would begin to know what was going to happen for them. The composer Howard Shaw came in and had a look at it so that he would know what was ahead of him. And then of course Peter dismantled the lot and started from scratch. It was 7 years of very extensive and quite profound learning in some ways, but it was 7 years away from New Zealand down there.